Al, spit it out. What is it?
All right, I guess it can't do any harm to tell you. A pretty girl has come into the store every day this week and flirted with me. I think she likes me. I'm not kidding. She's a shoe groupie. What's so funny about a shoe groupie? Let's rock.
Thanks, Dad.
Can I get a whooping?
Whoa,
No Man presents, live from the nudie bar, the Married with Children podcast. And here are your hosts, Dan, Jamie, and Al. Yeah, the Married with Children podcast is back, and I know that when you guys even hear the name Married with Children podcast, you're like, God, I love that. No? Nobody remembers that? Jefferson said that?
Yeah, I do.
I know, it's very random. But my name is Al, and I've heard of Frank Sinatra, because I'm pretty young. I'm just like a tad over 30, so.
If you're just a tad over 30, then I was just a tad drunk at my wedding.
What's that supposed to mean? What, 39 isn't that?
Right.
Okay.
I'm Jamie, and none of you have earned the right to look at my hiney.
Aw, not even me?
Maybe.
All right.
And I'm Dan. I just tickled her feet, ate her muffins, and I left.
Yeah, guys. So this is how Sinatra felt. Peg sends Bud and Kelly to spy on Al when she thinks he's cheating on her. Season 6, Episode 12. Original air date, December 1st, 1991. We're heading out of 1991 pretty soon.
Yep.
Director Jerry Cohen, writer Stacy Lipp. We love her. Special guest stars Jessica Hahn as Ricky.
It's impossible.
You're looking handsome today, Al.
It's unbelievable.
I love to see a man on all fours.
Al Bundy has a shoe groupie.
You can forget about having sex with me ever again.
Already did.
Jessica Hahn guest stars on an all-new Married with Children Sunday.
The title of this episode is a reference to singer Frank Sinatra, who sang the Married with Children theme song, Love and Marriage, among his other popular songs. I mean, everyone knows who Frank Sinatra is.
Love and Marriage. You know, I played Love and Marriage, the song, and the instrumental of it, you hear at the end of the show, every show, during my wedding when people were coming in for cocktail. After they were leaving cocktail hour and then coming into the normal reception area.
Nice.
We'll be right back with our winning lottery numbers. Don't forget, this week's jackpot is up to $32 million.
Oh, $32 million. Boy, that's a lot of money. Even split 3 ways.
Aren't we forgetting someone?
Oh, God, I'm so embarrassed. I mean 4 ways. Of course we'll give some to Buck.
I know what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to share mine with the poor and unfortunate. Yep, the poor unfortunate babes who haven't yet experienced waking up with a bud in their hands.
Well, at least you have.
Now, I love when Bud always makes these beer references, like when he points out the fact that his name is a beer. He always likes to mention that it's cool that he's named after a beer. He even straight out said that one time.
He would be even more proud in 2019. It's a weed reference. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Don't feel bad. I didn't get it either. I was like, did Budweiser do something?
Yeah, it's like, why? What'd they do? They won an award?
Like, was there a Kylie Jenner Budweiser ad?
What do you mean?
When she did that Pepsi ad.
Oh.
Besides, I don't think you deserve a full share. I mean, after all, you were left on our doorstep by trolls.
Well, at least when I was born and the doctor spanked me, I cried instead of saying, thanks. I like it rough.
No, she didn't. She didn't learn to talk till she was 10.
If that's true, because, everything that they say on the show, they're just letting us know the truth. Kelly just stood around as a child not saying anything with a blank expression on her face until she was 10.
Well, whenever something like that comes up, and even though, I don't fault the show for it because this is not a serious thing and continuity is not their strong point. But I immediately go back in my brain and start thinking about, does that fit? Does that fit? I don't think it does because wasn't she
Right. 8 years old when she couldn't have a sleepover anymore? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she was, there are stories of her doing hoary things in kindergarten and stuff.
Right.
And talking, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But like I said, who cares, Yeah,
because why would she have sleepovers and stuff if she can't even talk to anybody? Yeah,
Right.
That'd be weird. How do you invite them? So, so it's a great joke, though, either way.
It is.
Now, kids, I want you to be nice to each other. I'm not always going to be around, Especially if these numbers come up.
They're flashing the numbers. They're flashing the numbers. Read them, bud. Read them.
Okay. We got a 7,
Yeah,
16,
yeah,
18,
yeah,
22,
yeah,
28,
Yeah.
and 34.
yeah.
How many did we get?
None.
God, nothing for 12 weeks in a row. Is that some kind of a record, Mom?
Not for me.
I'm going to start playing the lottery with the numbers that they picked on this episode, along with whatever I normally do, because I always play the same numbers. But I want to do another card that I fill out the circles with the numbers they said on this show. Can you imagine if it's so meant to be that this leads to our fame and fortune?
That would be hilarious. Because you, of course, would split that 3 ways, right?
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed. Of course I'd give some to Buck.
Yeah, Buck. Yeah, that's great. So I'm going to start doing that and see if that pays off.
My child. My child. My God.
Al, this is the 3rd day in a row you've come home happy. Now, I just had a physical and I'm fine. So what are you so happy about?
What if I said that I've come to grips with my job and I've come to appreciate what the 3 of you mean to my life?
We'd say you were lying.
And you'd be right.
Al, spit it out. What is it?
All right, I guess it can't do any harm to tell you. A pretty girl has come into the store every day this week and flirted with me. I think she likes me. I'm not kidding. She's a shoe groupie. What's so funny about a shoe groupie?
Oh, nothing, Dad. A lot of people think rock stars get the best groupies, but now it's clear. Nothing gets them antsy like a shoehorn in your pantsies.
And he feels it's harmless, so he doesn't care. I mean, to the point where he's telling Peg. He doesn't, If something was really going on, why would I even let you know that there's an inkling of a chance that I'm up to something?
Right, exactly.
But I guess just hearing stuff like that, even if you heard, if I told my wife, yeah, there's this hot chick who works near me at work, she's always flirting with me, she would obviously be upset. So I guess...
Well, it's the kind of thing, and it happens all the time, that there's nothing bad about anything that's going on. It's completely innocent. So you'll share it with your partner. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, this is funny. This guy came in and, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, their face is...
What's his name?
Their face is slow. Right,
Who?
exactly. I mean...
Who's this guy? Wait, how do you know? How far away does he work from you?
Yeah, that's pretty much...
Do you go to lunch with him?
Yeah.
No, you don't need to describe him. I'll see him. I'm coming to your work tomorrow.
And it's like I was just describing this innocent story that I thought was humorous, and I'm sharing it with you because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, you realize they don't share the same exact sense of humor you have.
Right.
Well, I thought we both like Dumb and Dumber, no? Okay.
What's wrong, Mom?
Father's cheating on me.
I am not.
I know you are. You waited until I was a tad over 30 and you cheated on me.
I have two things to tell you. I would never cheat on you. And if you think you're just a tad over 30, then I was just a tad drunk at our wedding.
No, Peg's 37. Just think, I'm older than Peg Bundy, right? Like, I could literally be married to her right now.
Wow.
And I'd be older. Now, do I come off the same age as her or older?
Much older.
Shut up.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I'm older than she is now by quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that is depressing to me.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I look older than that.
It's weird. She doesn't look bad, but she looks old. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't look young.
Right.
I think part of that is probably because if you go back and watch any TV show, like a sitcom from when you were a kid or a movie or anything where there are parents, but they're young parents.
Right.
If they were older than you at the time,
they stay that way.
They always seem older than you. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
So, like, all of the shows I grew up watching, I'm older than the parents on those shows.
But they still seem older than you when you watch it.
Exactly.
It's weird, right? It's just... it almost makes me feel like I'm not growing up or I'm not maturing or something. Like, I think there's something wrong with me.
I often think about that because I often forget how old I am because it's just, and I think if I had kids, would I be more grounded in my age? Like, would it make me, because people my age have kids that are going to college.
Well, Dave Z isn't.
And,
so he doesn't come off any older than me. So it didn't work for him. So
No, that's true.
Yeah, I'm thinking it wouldn't work for me either.
I think that for us, though, while we look ahead at, like, it's been always one of the toughest things to conceptualize, like age and exactly what we're talking about.
Age and perception.
Exactly. But yeah, or lack thereof. But I've run into I worked with like a 20-year-old the other day, this kid, and quickly realized my age. Like, it just put it right into perspective. I'm like, wow. But I didn't like it. I was like, I feel so old. This is crazy. Like, wait, what? Because, like, think about it. When you're like 20 to 30 to then 40, like, you're a completely different person at all those ages. So it's been the toughest thing for me in my entire life to, like, grasp the concept of age. I can't do it.
If I was sitting next to Peg on the couch, I feel like people would think I'm her son.
You know what right.
And meanwhile, I'm 2 years older than she is.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a crazy thought for sure. Mm-hmm. I think the feeling that we have that, like we feel younger than we really are, I honestly think that continues your entire life.
I mean, maybe it does. I mean, maybe it's true for everyone. Right. And I just feel like I just assumed that when I reached a particular age, I would feel that age.
Right.
But maybe it's true for everyone that you don't, and I'll be talking to younger people at work, and we talk about the same stuff, movies, video games, music, whatever. And I'm still on top of everything, it's not like I'm over there not knowing how to work my iPhone because
yeah, you're not Johnny Lawrence.
What's
that, a Nokia?
Yeah.
It's a Dell.
We talk about YouTube shows and stuff, and when they talk, I understand what they're saying. It's not, I don't feel disconnected.
Right.
But then I'm thinking, the other day somebody said something and it made me think, oh my God, they look at me like I'm their mom. Like,
So that's what I was just going to say, though. So actually, our perception of it was wrong. Well, not wrong, but just when we were younger.
Yeah.
You think a certain way, like, oh wow, that person's really. But now that we're older, it's like the opposite. It's like I'm basically the same person, just like a little smarter, a little wiser. Or maybe not for everybody, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. But when we were kids and we're looking at our parents and we're like, pfft.
Right.
But now we're that age and I'm still cool.
You know what the biggest you definitely are.
No question about me.
I've grown up in pretty much the same town my entire life, going to high school and remembering certain people and all the stuff that they did that I don't think would be looked upon too pleasantly. And now they have like 3 or 4 kids.
Oh my
God. Like I saw like one girl walking down.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, you're still a jerk. What are you doing with all those kids?
Oh my, yeah, exactly. Like talk about the blind leading the blind. Like what is this life? That's always been a big thing for me.
Life for?
The kids are now the same age as I was when I met that girl, that guy.
Dude, I can't. We can't do this. Again, I got to get out that book.
Yeah.
Final Exit. Where is it?
Right. Well, last night I ran into, you know how Facebook does the people you may know thing?
Yes.
They randomly threw at me a guy that I went to high school with.
Okay.
And I looked at the picture and I was like, who? Like, who is that? And then I recognized the name and I'm like, oh my God. So I clicked on his profile just to see. And in his profile, he is posing with his daughter who was graduating. And I was oh my God. And there was a woman standing next to him and I was like, oh, is that his mom? No, that was his wife. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's so weird. And I get really depressed if I think about it too much.
I agree. I agree.
Well, speaking of kids, Peg wants hers to break into the shoe store early and spy on Al while he's at work to see what's really going on over there. Al is showering, too, which is a big deal.
Cause for alarm.
Suspect.
Yeah, I wonder if he's wearing underwear in a tube.
Well,
I was thinking the same thing.
We know he's not like spraying his shoes with anything or like getting clean socks.
No, that's true because well, we can't say. That's a big reveal too.
Sorry.
No, it's a huge reveal when he holds it up to that woman's face.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the last time Al took a shower. Here, I'm going to try to find it.
3 seasons ago?
The last time he actually took a shower was November 18th, 1990, in the episode Do You Think I'm Sexy? This is when the neighborhood women thought he was sexy.
Okay.
Oh,
when he was the underwear in a tube episode, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Al comes into the shoe store and in an iconic scene sits down and puts his head in his hands in hopeless misery and doesn't move from that position for 5 hours.
Classic pose.
Well, 4 hours, then he gets up once and then he goes back down for another hour. Now, that classic pose, you have seen that picture for years on social media.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, the image alone with no words describes pretty much everyone's feelings about work.
Right. Yeah. That's what I like about social media, too, is you can hone in on certain things like that, and it's almost like classic now, It says so much about not only Al Bundy and kind of sums up his life, but it's very relatable to everybody, and it's just it was already iconic, but because of the reasons that we just said, it's even more iconic now.
Right. Yeah. And they mentioned that's an advertisement for college, and I'm like, nah, I know plenty of people went to college who still have their head in their hands at work.
Yep.
It's college is not the answer to everything, guys.
Nope.
Nope.
My name is Cliff, brother of Joe.
I got me some crack. I want me some. Oh.
Let me hear you say yeah.
Can you imagine if that was college, dude? Oh my god! Like he got a job that wouldn't be doing that. Yeah, right.
Again, Cliff O'Malley will always be college Cliff O'Malley, and then you see him as a dad on Riverdale to Jughead or whatever. It's like, what? Not Jughead, but yeah.
No, he's the dad of Betty. Now,
Right.
he pulls off a dad about as well as I would. Like, to me, he's always going to be Cliff O'Malley.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Try to be a dad. That's about as good as I'd be doing, bro.
That or like the Scooby-Doo van outside gave it away.
Yeah, from Jason vs. Freddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, he's always a young guy. I met him about 3-4 years ago, and he was the coolest guy ever, man.
Yeah?
I love that guy. Oh, yeah, definitely. He's cool. So, a fat woman comes into the shoe store.
Sounds like a setup for a joke.
It sounds like it just got home, right?
Didn't it look like the original lady there?
They all look alike.
They do, right? Yeah, type.
Oh, is that insulting? I'm sorry.
Fact.
As long as I don't point out her race, I think I'm good. I'm in the clear.
Mm-hmm.
All fat white people look the same. No, That's so stupid.
At some point, features just get blurred.
Yeah, they just spread out into the same face.
Sir?
Take a number. What is your number?
1.
How may I serve you?
I want my money back. These shoes you sold me are as useless to me as a comb is to you. I've only worn them once, and they split at the sides.
Well, let me explain. See, it's just like an elevator. There's a 2-ton weight limit on these shoes. Let's say I nail the soles directly to your feet. It'll give you more traction when you're pulling the ice wagon.
You will be hearing from my attorney.
Is that the law offices of Hagen and Dodge?
She's only in 2 things, believe it or not. 30-something as babysitter number 2, and this episode as Leona. Her name is Maggie Montgomery. She read the ad, Fat Women Needed, and she came in to audition.
Jesus.
And she got the part as Leona. I like how they give her a name, too, like to give her some dignity.
Well, and to address something that somebody was talking about on the Facebook group page, which is exactly that. That's pretty much how it goes. There's a casting call,
Yeah.
and these people know that if they want a job and they have to be realistic about life and realize like what they are.
Wait, there's a casting call? I thought somebody just yelled out Sui.
Oh, sure, now that you know what it means.
No!
What, I can't?
Oh,
well, I'm not entitled to that because I just learned it?
Alex learns it next week, comes back swinging.
Yeah, suddenly I got zingers about it.
And that was what, like season 1?
He thought he could when Al goes to the library.
That'll do, pig.
Now, here's one thing. Unlike most of the fat women who walk into the shoe store, she deserves what she got here because she did strike first, like Cobra Kai.
Dude, that was coming. I knew it. I said to myself when I woke up this morning, I'm like, I wonder if Alex is going to reference Cobra Kai.
Like 20 times a show now because he's obsessed with Cobra Kai. She attacks his hair.
Right.
It's true, she does, yeah. And then, my thought at that time was, sister, don't lead off insulting someone, like, where do you think that's going to go?
Like, know what show you're on?
And you're insulting the wrong guy, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
If you knew Al Bundy and it was today, right, in that exact scenario, and you happen to be in the shoe store for whatever reason, like you're hanging out with Al, and as soon as she says the hair thing, you just step back, get your phone out, and start recording. You're like, yep. Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go. Exactly.
They should nail them to her feet so they're more sturdy when she pulls the ice wagon. So we got another horse reference for the fat women in the shoe store. So now we're rolling with this. As you know, Al did the fat woman came into the shoe store today a couple episodes ago, and now we got this. Then she says, you'll be hearing from my attorney. Like an attorney would ever waste his time fighting some guy in a shoe store because she claims he insulted her. There is absolutely zero proof of this. It would never hold up in court. What are you going to assume for?
Right.
I mean, I guess faulty shoes, but...
Is that what she's referring to?
But even then, I don't think she has a case.
I don't think she has a leg to stand on. She has hoofs.
Yeah, when she threatens Al with lawyers, he asks if her...
It was great.
He asked if her lawyers are from the law office of Hagen and Dazs. Which, of course, is a reference to Hagen Dazs.
The ice cream company. Oh, wow.
Law offices of.
The obvious there is that most law offices are like two guys' names all the time, like Jacoby and Myers, etc.
Well, Kel, I think we can go home now. The only person Dad's cheating on Mom with is death. Excuse me, but that must be my dinner.
Easy now, Hoppity. She's not Buck. She'll run away.
You're looking handsome today, Al.
Jessica Hahn walks into the shoe store with muffins in hand. And as she's talking to Al's eating her muffins.
Right there in the middle of the shoe store?
Right?
I brought you some muffins.
As pretty as you are.
God. It is disgusting what a woman in a short skirt can do to a man.
Bud is salivating. He's licking his chops. He is way into this, man, and he has the right to be.
Could you show me something in a 4-inch heel?
I can.
She wants 4-inch heels.
That seems a little extreme.
Yeah, Jamie, is that the normal length of a heel?
That's crazy.
Your typical heel is like 3 inches.
3.
What?
Okay. Wow.
I mean, you can get heels higher than that, obviously, and I even had some 6-inch heels at one.
Oh my
What?
God! Did you fall over?
What are you trying to prove?
I am like a hobbit. Are you kidding me? I am so short.
So, Al shows his butt to her when he leans over to pick up the shoes. He gives that little, butt pose. Al has strong but yielding hands. That's high school football, which apparently nobody wants to hear about in this episode.
Not at all.
Yeah, she was not having it, man. She was like, yeah, that's great. Just tell me about selling shoes.
I love to see a man on all fours. I felt a lot of hands on my feet, but yours are so strong, yet so yielding.
That's high school football. See, when I was on the team and the play called for strong but yielding hands, the
I
coach...
don't want to hear about football. Tell me something exciting. Tell me about selling shoes.
Remember cold day, winter of '68. I was just a young heel then.
Don't stop, baby.
Bud, she just may be the shoe groupie.
You're gonna make some guy a fine end table one day.
So I looked her right in the foot and I said, I don't need no stinking shoe sizer. You're a size 7, baby.
Oh, God.
Yes, I know.
Bud, we've got a real problem. How do we tell Mom?
And do we tell Mom?
So the kids contemplate whether or not they should tell Peg.
Would she be a shoopy?
A shoopy. Wow. Nice. Bud's contemplating this. Kelly is thinking about Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Well, what'd you find? What'd you find?
Let's see. She deserves to know, but then she'll be mad at Dad. And she'll be hurt. Do I betray Dad without hearing his side of the story? What a dilemma. I wonder what Kelly's thinking.
Eeny, meeny, chili, beanie, these spirits are about to speak.
Are they friendly spirits, Bullwinkle?
A reasonable facsimile of Rocky and Bullwinkle?
I don't know if it's all that reasonable.
Yeah.
The voice actress of Rocky, June Foray, previously appeared on Married with Children as the voice of Scary Mary in Season 5's God's Shoes.
Now, that's wrong. It's Season 6's.
I was going to say that's not correct because we just did that episode.
Ah, we gotcha. Nothing gets by us. Nothing.
I mean, so was it actually June Foray who did the voice here? Because it didn't sound right to me.
I don't think so. I mean, it could have. I mean, they had her there. But I don't even know if she's legally allowed to do that if it's not for...
Oh, you know what? That's a good point.
Right? Because I remember Michael Jackson, when he was on The Simpsons, his studio, or whoever, his record dealer, they wouldn't let him sing at all. So some other guy came in to sing, like, Happy Birthday Lisa and stuff. And even when he did a little Billie Jean thing in the mental institution, that wasn't him singing. He was just talking the whole time. But whenever he sang, it had to be somebody else.
That's wild.
Yeah, there's always weird things like that. So I believe that probably wasn't her.
Because it didn't sound right at all to me.
No. Now, if you were the kids, would you have told Peg? Not that the whole episode hinders on this, so we don't have to get that far into it. But as a kid, I probably wouldn't, because I'd be afraid that they'd get mad and maybe get divorced or something. But then again, Bud's like 18. I probably would think differently at that time.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
Well, kids, did you find anything?
Well, he sat there for hours. He went to the bathroom, he looked at his watch, and he insulted a fat woman.
Oh, and don't forget the pretty woman who was all over him.
Oh, yeah. And that. But nothing happened.
Yeah, they didn't have intercourse or anything.
Just tickled her feet and ate her muffins, and she left.
So she says they did not have intercourse, but he tickled her feet after eating her muffins. Bud's done more with a girl, so he says, which we all believe, but we have to go along with the rewritten history of Bud. I don't know why. I guess it's funnier if he's a virgin. So, whatever.
Al, you can forget about having sex with me ever again.
Already did.
That's a real threat. To a guy that we have to give sex points to.
Exactly.
We've heard all about it. Now, if anyone wants to talk, I think you know that I can be a calm and objective ear.
Well, I'd like to say
Out of my way, pig. I know these must be trying times for you. Come tell me everything. I can be a good shoulder to cry on.
Oh, Marcy, I'm so upset.
Into the mic, hon. The girls at the beauty parlor have a right to know.
I feel so betrayed. Am I speaking loud enough?
Al, I just want you to know that I'm not prejudging you.
Well, thanks, buddy.
So how was she?
I never touched her.
So she did all the work?
God, I love that!
And he was like, God, I love that. I mean, he looked... That was such a great reaction.
It really was. It seemed very genuine.
Yeah.
Like, he's really honing into his character really well. And I still say at this point, we haven't really got a lot of Jefferson. I always feel like it's in drips and drabs. I never really feel like I got my fill of this guy.
No, I agree.
I feel like when he is prominent and he says his jokes, they definitely work. and they're memorable. But then, then you'll go like an extended period of time where you'll just get nothing. Or like an episode where he just shows up and he's just there.
Yeah, he's in and out of the house like this one. Like,
right.
That's not good. And he wasn't even in the last one. Like, the ones where he's like a pool shark and stuff, like, I'd like that stuff more often. Like, where he's in it for like 2/3 of the episode or something.
They just give him different roles wherever he's needed. Wherever he's needed in the episode, he can be that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, almost like whatever you gotta be so we can further this plot.
I feel like the whole thing of Jefferson, like, as a whole, I don't think at this point anyone loved him. I think he was all right, you know, it was cool, and he did his job, and it was good, but I think after we've seen them all, and then they're, you know, as we go on with this, he's a major part of the show.
Right.
I just feel bad for his character. Well, for actually, I guess, for Ted McGinley. Like, I don't feel like they tried very hard with him in the beginning.
No.
And so they could have, it was almost as if they didn't care what happened to his character, and that's kind of sad.
I think, though, at the time, if he's not needed, okay, that's fine. But I also do think that to introduce him in the way that they did, right, set up who he is as a character, which I think they've done up until, about 4 episodes ago. That was really his introduction, who we got to see who he was. Like, he kind of stands up to Al, so to speak, more so than Steve ever did. So the table is set in terms of something like that. Like, so you set up his character. Okay, so you might not need him for a little bit, but it's better to set up who he is.
Yeah, so he's there when you need him.
Exactly, same thing. Like, you know, and then bring him in. And I honestly think that it's probably a case of, like, too much of that people would notice. Too much of him, too much of Marcy, you know. I know a couple episodes were like, are they really in it again? Like when they went out the gold digging episode.
Oh, yeah, I guess that was one you could consider. Yeah, okay, it's another one. All right.
You know, and it's like, it's just one of those things where they're not really necessary. So I think it would actually be overkill if they tried to shoehorn him in for every episode. But like you just said, it's good to have him on deck, so to speak, in the batter's box, ready to go, you know?
Have him in the chamber.
Yeah, like exactly, like the Unnatural.
Well, he calls Marcy's butt a bonbon bottom. I guess that's one bonbon Peg wouldn't eat, right?
Does anyone want to hear my side of this?
No need. You, sir, are a cheat and a liar. Now, I have the name of a woman attorney who will chew Al up and spit him out. That's who I would use to bleach my husband's bones if he so much as even looked at another woman while he was wearing my brand. Isn't that right, Cinnamon Buns?
That would only be fair, Bonbon Bottom. I see now I have to kill her.
What would a lawyer really do to Jefferson? He would get alimony or whatever.
Right.
How do you destroy somebody who has nothing? I don't know, but then he goes, now I know I have to kill her. That line will make more sense later on when we learn certain things about Jefferson that make zero sense, leading to it.
All right, that's enough. I have a little announcement. Now, I can understand why you all would think that I was cheating on my wife. After all, she did bear my children.
Bud and nobody sitting in a tree. K.I. something, 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 too.
Oh, Kelly.
Can't even spell kissing. Something she does on a daily basis. She can't spell it. Imagine that.
Yep.
They all think I'm guilty. I should have done it. I got a good mind to go back to the shoe store and eat some muffins, and before I fall asleep, give her the best 30 seconds of her life. Opportunity never comes when you want it.
Al goes upstairs to go to bed early, and Ricky is already in the bed. Now, you might not know, but Ricky's the shoe groupie. They gave her a name.
Take me, shoe man.
How'd did you get in here?
By ladder. It was hanging outside your daughter's window.
Now, the amount of guys that Kelly has brought in through the front door to add a ladder to the whole situation, you can only imagine how many we don't know about.
Oh, God. And we haven't seen that in a while, too, which is a bummer.
I know. I wonder if Mongo had another brother.
Yeah, I want to see her in a pile of laundry with a dude. That'd be hot. There must be a videotape of that laying around, right?
There's got to be.
She's only wearing high heels under the covers. I mean, can you say showing? I mean, I'm just like, what? Al keeps lifting the sheet as he's yelling at her.
That is very funny.
I love that. Oh, God, is that great. He just keeps looking. She loves the smell of Al's feet, apparently.
Talk shoe to me.
It was a warm day in August. The shoeboxes were throbbing. No, I can't. I married a woman named something. You're gonna have to leave.
There's nothing you can do that'll make me leave.
Now, I don't want to get tough with you, miss, but you leave me no choice.
Oh, take off the socks. The socks.
That's where, like, I drew the line. And I was like, this is not believable.
yeah, now it becomes unbelievable.
Right.
That's where Dan's the whistleblower.
Yeah, you got to draw the line somewhere. I mean, Peg could smell it from downstairs.
Right.
Al, do you have your shoes off up there? There are people breathing down here, for God's sake.
She doesn't deserve a man like you. Try me on for size.
Peg! 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 Peg!
She said try me on for size. Oh my God. It's very easy for me to put myself in Al's situation. I tap into that really easily. Especially when he's like,
I bet you'd tap into
I
that.
bet you would tap that.
oh yeah, Jessica Hahn, it wouldn't take me 2 seconds, man. I'd be like, okay. But if I was married, though, man.
Well, you are.
Right, oh yeah. I try to forget that. I guess I wouldn't cheat because, you know, once you do it and this dream thing goes through and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I only have a pass on one girl on the entire planet, which will never happen, so.
Tiffany Thiessen? Oh, Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, but she knows that won't happen, so that's why. I'm in love with Tiffany Amber Thiessen, but it's more on a different level than just sexually. Yeah. It turns out Al cries at the end of Bambi. Is that the one where, like, the deer was shot?
Yeah, but that was at the beginning.
That's what I thought. I was going to say, wasn't that the beginning of Bambi?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can understand those other times you cheated. That 10 cents a week raise you pocketed for yourself back in 72. Those M&Ms that you had hidden in the aspirin bottle. Yep, I know about that. But this is different, Al. How could you do this to me? Especially when you know how sensitive I am.
Now listen, Peg. If I was ever going to leave you, it wouldn't be for another woman. I don't want another woman. Wouldn't mind having another TV, though. You know what I really like? One of those picture-in-a-picture jobs. You know, sometimes they got a game on, and at the same time they got a good Hooter movie. And flipping back and forth between the channels makes me kind of anxious. Oh, well, maybe some other time. Anyhow, I never have, nor will I ever cheat on you.
Really, Al?
Really, Peg? But I did have the opportunity.
Well, what stopped you?
I don't know.
Well, I do. It's because we've been married for 20 years. We have 20 years of the same memories, same disappointments, the same life. Anyone else would have left us by now. But we can't, and we never will, because you know that we were meant for each other.
And Peg believes it's because they've been together for 20 years, and I like the one line where she says, anyone else would have left us by now.
Well, see, okay, and that's a big line, though, because we've talked about this many times before, more so, I would say, on Al's side than Peggy's side, but we've had those episodes where Peggy's had hers, too. We said, like, the baseball player, all the dudes in the house, that, like, it's Al, and when she went out with Marcy, was that the gay guy one, I believe? There's been several.
Yeah, when they went to the dance.
Yeah, when they went to so like it's been back and forth of whether and we've posed this question do you think Al would actually cheat? Do you think Peggy would actually cheat? And I think that line is basically the definitive answer, and it's true.
Right. Well, it's weird that they have these types of endings 2 episodes in a row too. The lovey-dovey endings.
Yeah, that's true.
They just had it, yeah. Yeah, well, Al knows that they were meant for each other, and that bums him out even more, really. Peg says, let's go upstairs, so she gets a sex point here.
Come on, honey, let's go upstairs.
Why not? Already hit rock bottom.
What is it, Al?
Can't go upstairs.
Why not?
Because I'm so hot, I want you here right now.
What did you guys think when they were getting up to go upstairs? Did it occur to you before Al realized that she was upstairs still?
Yes.
Oh,
it did.
Okay, so Al's reaction's great.
Right, let's do it down here. Yeah.
So they do that. Now Jessica Hahn starts making her way downstairs as this is happening, and Al's doing his best to shield Peg from the view.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Jessica Hahn for a second and how she even got this role.
Well, this was Jessica Hahn's first credited acting role. She began a long-time domestic relationship with series creator Ron Levitt around the time of this appearance, which lasted until his death in 2008.
Wow.
She was with him, and he was hardly around, from what she said on the Howard Stern show. She would just sit in this nice fancy place in New York all the time. I think it was New York. And she's an amazing piano player, believe it or not. And it's because she has time to just do whatever she wants, and she's just there whenever he needs her.
Well, and there's something else too. I didn't remember that she accused Jim Baker of raping her.
Yeah, in 1987.
Yeah, and she accused him in 87, but she says that he raped her in 1980. And she was also a Playboy bunny, by the way, which is
yeah. Now, real quick, there was a goof that happened before we get into this epic ending with Jessica Hahn. There was a goof that we missed a scene or two ago when Marcy's recording Peg and talking, into the little cassette recorder for the girls at the beauty parlor. The cassette inside is not moving, even though Marcy's holding the record button down.
I don't think I could notice that if I wanted to. I don't think I can see that well.
The quality's not that good. I think I could see that. So, okay, so now we get to this last scene, man. So Al's shielding Peg away from vision, and Jessica Hahn comes down the stairs, and Peg says, wow, you do realize this is probably your last chance to ever, hook up with a hot chick. And then Al turns and looks at her, and she opens up her trench coat, flashing Al. But she has lingerie on, unfortunately, because it's Fox. But, man, does that look good. I wish she did it on the stairs, though, so you could see her legs, too. But she did it from behind the couch, so it's still hot. I guess it was a closer view, so.
Alex, you're so passionate about hot chicks.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes I feel like she has a bit of a horse face.
I thought that as soon as she walked into the shoe store. I was like, ooh, she doesn't look that good. Yeah. Yeah, Al should have done that joke to her about pulling the ice wagon. No, I'm just kidding. No, but her face is not my type at all. Everyone likes a nice body, nice legs, nice hooters and stuff. That's fine. But the face is really the make or break of whether or not you're going to get into a long-term thing with somebody.
Personality, Alex.
Oh, right. That too. Sure. Yeah, I'm not into her face at all. I gotta say.
Yeah.
I don't want to be insulting because she's cool, but...
Al, honey, tell me something. Were you ever tempted by that woman? You know, even a little bit?
Yeah.
Because, you know, at your age, that was probably your last chance.
I know.
So, she gives we get one last look at her body as she's leaving their house for the last time, or the only time, I guess. And it dawned on me when she was leaving that Al would have just left one redhead for another.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If you're going to cheat, Al's always with the blondes. So, and I mean always. So, it's weird. But then again, I mean, a hot chick like that comes up to you, you're not going to go, oh, well, you know, blonde hair, so I'm not sure this is going to work. So, let's rate this episode. So, how many muffins are you eating out of 5 for this episode, Dan?
I am eating 4.5 muffins. I got full. I couldn't finish the last half. No, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought that it moved very quickly, and it was all the jokes were very much on point. And it was, all the jokes were delegated nicely, evenly. And I just think that answering that question kind of definitively was pretty big, you know, without making like a big deal of it. Like we said, we've had this discussion many times, which means I'm sure a lot of people thought about this, you know, would Al cheat over the years?
Yeah, but now we have a true definitive answer here.
Exactly, and it's done in such a Bundy way too, where it is just kind of like a very laid back comment, yet rings very true. And I think that when they do stuff like that and they just play it perfectly, like this is how we're going to address this. Kind of like, you know, laying back with, you know, your hand down your pants. Yeah, I really did like this episode. I thought it was great. I thought some of the jokes were just hysterical. And yeah, I just really liked it. 4.5 muffins.
Wow. Jamie, how many of Ricky's muffins are you eating out of 5 for this episode?
Yeah, Jamie.
I mean, I am really not all that hungry, so I'm gonna have to say I'll only be able to eat like 3.5.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait to hear why.
Well, there's not a whole lot as to why. It just didn't.
You had a big breakfast, huh?
There's yeah, I had those 2 Peeps for breakfast. There's not really a big reason as to why. There's just except that there isn't a big reason as to why not. Like
right.
I don't know. Nothing really struck me as that like blew me away in this episode. So I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was bad. I did like it. I just didn't
love it.
You know, love it. So.
Right. Unlove it.
You made me change the way I'm going to look at my rating now. So I'm going to eat 4 out of 5 of her muffins. And the reason is, thinking back, you know, you got an amazing fat woman in the shoe store segment.
Right.
You got an iconic image of Al sitting in the shoe store, like just a moment that was so great even in the show, but became something of legend in social media in the world of Married with Children. I'm not saying everyone in the world has seen this. You know, things like that. You got Jessica Hahn, who's definitely an iconic person. For me, a big Howard Stern listener in the 90s and stuff, and late 80s, the Sam Kinison connection. And then, she was just cool in this, and she was hot, and she was definitely into just being a hot chick on the show. Al having a shoe groupie was unique and different and cool, and her being so hot was awesome. The kids' stuff was great. Jefferson and Marcy, his great reaction, her taping it for whatever. And then her being in the bed with nothing on but high heels and Al keep peeking in on it. I do realize that amongst all that sounding so good, at the same time, yeah, I get what you mean. That's why it's not getting a 5, which it otherwise would have, I think, if what you're pointing out wasn't lacking. So that's why I'm only giving it a 4 out of 5. All that great stuff, but yeah, it does seem like there's just something. There could have been more.
One of the rare episodes where I rate an episode higher than Al.
Yeah.
Crazy. Nice.
Yeah, but again, I really like it. You just really like it plus 0.5.
Exactly.
You almost love it.
Almost.
Well, tune in next week as we review I Who Have Nothing. Al visits his high school sweetheart and relives his football glory days.
Nice.
Yeah, because that never happens.
Thank God we get to an episode where he does that, right, guys?